Me, you.
That's right. Hello, everybody. We're back. It's about time, but we are. And we are here in half our number, but twice our strength. That doesn't make sense. But anyways, I'm Lucas. This is Lucas G Variety. We're back for the Band of Blades actual play. And today is January the 6th, 2022. The first stream of the year. And we're coming back doing it. So today is episode number 14, A Cure for Shreya. Shreya, of course, is your chosen. After the attack of the camp last time, Shreya was gravely wounded by none other than the broken blighter herself. She was poisoned, but not just any old poison, a corrupted type poison, which is slowly killing her. So, as the commander was looking for missions, Shreya, I didn't say she beg you, but she requested if you would go and try to find her something that would most likely be a cure. Right? So we made that our primary mission. We got 3 missions we rolled up last time. One, of course, is going to auto-fail. We pick a primary and then we pick a secondary. The primary was called Humble Sacrifice. So, let me adjust my music just a little bit. Stop me if I miss any details. Lost my train of thought now. So it's called Humble Sacrifice, and almost the mission statement here. Almost 300 years ago, Astingra, there we go, a chosen of the living god, so a chosen 300 years ago, was entombed. She fought alongside Zora, one of the current chosens, now against the last emperor, but was horrifically wounded. Details of her death vary from being entombed alive to committing suicide. Regardless, her resting place is worth examining. So, her heart, or whatever is left of it, is needed to make an antidote to cure Shreya's corrupted poison. So, the marshal has picked a couple of specialists and a crew to go out and take this on. And you are in this mountain town right now. Of course, I had the mountain town up. I think, where are we at, Dan? We are in the Barrack Mines, right? Makers of black shot. They were very happy to see the Legion. And they actually gave you what was left of their black shot because they were mining it. That's what they do in these mines. They find the black earth, which is turned into black shot. And black shot, of course, is something that undead are vulnerable to. Woo! There go my lights. My brand new lights. No. And so, the Barrack Mines is a mountain city. There's a lot, it's like in the mountains. There's a lot of mines all over. There's a lot of mine tracks. We set the scene kind of last time. It's cold. It's been snowing. You guys are going to want to think about warm weather gear, or it could be bad for you. Marshall, tell us a little bit about the crew that's going out, and then I'll go a little bit into that. A little bit after that, we can basically jump right in.
Absolutely. Our crew tonight is led by Joster the Toe Milsanovich, everybody's favorite, Zemyati, and he is accompanied by Nucket Darty, the Heavy. And those two are leading the fresh rookies on their first mission. These rookies being the bandits that we ended up finally training and whipping into shape. That's the Ghost Owls. I think 4 of the Ghost Owls are bandits, and then one of them is a leftover from one of the who was it, the Star Viper? Or no. The rest were gutted out to kind of fill out the rest of the squads. So Kavai, yeah, was the only leave behind in the Ghost Owl. So I guess she's an OG, but doesn't really have much to put on that sash as far as missions.
The most experienced rookie.
That has never gone on a mission. I don't think the Ghost Owls have gone out yet, have they?
She keeps a mean watch.
All right. Fair enough. So they've been selected, and you're told that people don't like... They've told you the different rumors, right? Like, oh, she was entombed alive. Still is. Someone's like, shut up, Frank. He goes, she's been dead for centuries now, but you can hear her calling if you listen on a moonlit night. That's just the wind whistling through the peaks. That's why they call it Whistler Peaks. Oh no, I think she's still alive. All kinds of rumors. So this chosen was entombed up here, And like I said, it's a mountain town, and there are different mines within the city limits, and all the mine tracks that go further up into some of the mountains that are behind the city, right? And so up the central path actually is where you are set to go. And there's some active mines, there's some closed mines, but basically they said you follow all the way straight up, and you're going to come to a part where the pass really narrows, and most likely is cave. It collapsed a while back, and no one did anything about it because everyone's scared of it. It's like an urban legend. No one wants to go up there. Kids dare each other to get as close as they can, that sort of thing, just spook each other. But what you've heard is this. Well, I'm not sure. You might have some intel questions, Commander. Possibly before we go, I'm not sure. You have at least one, so I won't say much more until you ask. But otherwise, we can start putting that stuff together.
No, I think I spent that intel to get the mission.
You still have a zero. You would still have a zero intel question, though.
Really? Okay.
And if you wish to ask it, I'm all ears.
Where's the commander's sheet?
Well, I do have this. I do have it under handouts too. If you want the intel questions in the Roll20. So we have
Commander.
Yep.
Missions, intel questions. 0 more. What's the highest threat we can expect on these missions? Seems like the best default 0 question ever.
Always is, but it's top. Well, whether you're fighting undead or you come across some beast or something that lives in the mountain, your intel says pretty good, like, out of character, that your highest threat here is a 3. So, it's tough.
You're still working on it.
Like an infamous.
Infamous level.
Oops.
It's 3
Yep.
at the least.
My internet's being wonky, sorry guys. So yes, the highest threat you'll expect is a 3. So it could be tough in some spots, but it's not the worst you've faced.
So, yeah, he'll make sure the toe knows to expect medium resistance.
Okay.
I'll be medium prepared.
Medium well done on the repair.
All right. And then
3/8 of prepared, sir.
Oops, let me pop that out. Increase it. Sorry. So
This area is infamous for its defenses.
present
I'll
missions.
come up with some better ones.
Yeah, it's the GM questions based on the current intel. The spy can. Commander, you may spell intel to replace a mission with a special mission. Pick a primary and secondary. Assign a squad to specialists to each mission. Players take up their characters. Reset your armor, specialist skill uses, and choose your load. You may spend utility load to bring along extra items as indicated.
Choose your loads.
Do you wish the quartermaster to spend the last religious supply in order to equip both the specialist with a reliquary?
I mean, it sounds like you're really pushing that. So.
I'm just making sure that, because that'd be Mike's job if he was here. I want to make sure that I present it.
Considering the difficulties, the commander would suggested it, yeah.
But we also have our 2 best Legionnaires on this, so
Well,
that's stronger than any reliquary.
I mean, my decision. I'll let you 2 decide.
I mean, my 2 characters I'm controlling both have reliquaries already, so it doesn't really bother me either way on that particular statement.
You put it for your rookie too, huh? All right.
Yeah, he was already pious when I picked him up.
Yeah, no, I'll be fine. Don't worry.
No reliquaries. Okay.
Both of the guys are pious stoic.
Well, it does give you a +1 to the engagement, so there's a mechanical bonus along with it.
Oh,
so.
okay. Well then, you know what? That reliquary sounds a lot better now.
Well, that also gives the
I
rookies
roll
one.
those dice, and I don't like rolling bad dice.
So is that a yes to?
Yes.
All
I
right.
vote yes.
Commander?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, so I am checking off the last religious supply, and it's both are empty. You are fresh out of religious supplies. But that means Officer Toe, you get a reliquary added on top of your normal utility outload or output. And it, so whatever you pick, you also get that. So it's a good time to pick your load if you guys are going to be going, light, normal, heavy.
I think the heavy is going to go heavy.
All right, so we're looking at Nugget. He's going to go heavy, so he's going to get everything with light and normal as well, right?
Yep.
So you get your flare.
And the fine tower shield, fine heavy weapon.
All right.
Flare gun.
All right.
And
so you got the two. Oh, he gets reliquary already, so you get to pick 2 more load to go with. Like I said, it is cold in the mountains, so you're probably winter clothing is probably going to have to be one for everybody. You don't have to, but you might start suffering consequences if you do not have winter clothing. So keep that in mind. I just like to look and see what all you're going to do.
I think he'll take winter clothing and an extra med kit that worked out well for him last time.
All right.
Prelin Thomas will get his winter clothing. He'll go heavy as well.
Okay.
Clothing.
What else is he going to... It's Prowling Thomas, the guy you can't trust, going to be taking. At least according to the marshal.
Trustworthy. He's going to take winter clothing and supplies.
Supplies are always good.
I think I'm building this guy to be the unofficial quartermaster for the bandits before they were changed. So he cooks and he has a lot of supplies and no one knows where he goes.
All right.
And that's good enough for him.
What about Barrett the Smile, the other rookie that you're playing for Dom?
Barrett's taking winter clothing and a climbing kit.
Okay. Climbing kit's probably a good idea. All right. I think that's gets us caught up. Let me bring out this bad boy again.
Nugget gets 4 utility load instead of 2.
Oh, he's a heavy.
Yep.
So you've spent all your intel too. You have none to spend for the engagement roll.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Okay.
So all that's left is the engagement roll once you both are ready.
Alrighty.
I'm going to take soldier kit.
We have 2 die, or we have to go through those questions, don't we?
Yep. You start out as 0.
Okay. So first off, are all on the mission oath sworn to the Legion? Yeah, they are. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
The bandits are. Yes. Now. Yep.
Did the commander spend 1 intel to give us foresight and info? No, right?
Nope.
Oh, he spent it on getting the mission.
Yeah. Is everyone on the mission a specialist or soldier? Most definitely not.
Nope. Too much of green boys here.
Does any Legionnaire distrust the leadership or not fear them enough to obey orders on the battlefield? I mean, these guys are whipped into shape, right?
I'm going to say for now, that could turn because of their history. They could turn it fast depending on what happens. But I'm going to say right now, they survived that awesome battle where the Broken themselves attacked the camp. You fought her off, and everybody partied hard afterwards with a lot of morale. So they're kind of like, this ain't so bad right now, guys. We could get used to this. So we're going to say that they're okay. So yeah, they trust.
I'll take that.
And then, a religious mission, yeah?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So did the quartermaster spend religious supplies to ward and protect the Legionnaires?
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
That's up to 2 dice. Is any Legionnaire starting with Blight?
No.
That's not the same as corruption, right?
Once you fill your corruption meter, you take Blight.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a trauma, basically.
That's always going to be a no for us, because Shreya is very clear on what happens to blighted Legionnaires.
Correct. She don't. I mean, she's dealing with her own corruption right now. Yeah, I know. Shreya's like, I'm just not messing around. I'll put you out of your misery with honor, but it will happen. That's it. Okay. So we got 2 dice, Dom.
2 dice. That's more than enough.
That's
'cause
2
I roll
sixes.
6s.
Oh, he
almost
did
sixes.
roll a
Oh.
6.
Dang, so close.
Oh my goodness.
It's
So
going to be fun.
Love it when it lines up. I roll all 6s. 2 6s. Come on.
So the sun is out.
Give you $1, bump it up.
You guys have done well. You were in a controlled situation when it starts, right? So, you've heard all the rumors. You've put everything aside. You've packed up your gear. You're all heavied out mostly. Actually, I'm not sure. Is everybody taking heavy loads? Oh, normal for the officer.
Both of my guys are.
Okay. No problem. Just curious. Some normals and some heavies. And then you got the rest of the ghost owls with you. You've heard the rumors. You've pushed it aside. You trek north. You have some miners that are working as you take this trail that kind of goes up and around, but you follow the even though it's snowing and blowing, they keep the mine rails clear so they can bring their carts of black earth and other things, maybe some precious stones that they've been mining, maybe iron even, down the mountainside. But there's one central rail that goes up this path in the center of town, deep up, and then those rails will split off to other mines. Some mines are now abandoned because they're either too dangerous or they're empty. They've been depleted. But there's a few active mines. You see a group of miners that kind of hail you, and then they get the idea of where you're going, and they kind of quickly duck their heads and go back to work. Just leaving you leaving you as you are, and you go up past where the mine rail stops, and you make your way up more towards the peak. And it's daytime. The sun is out, but the wind blows hard, and the snow comes down in flurries, so it is hard to see, and it is very, very bright with the sun and the snow and sheening off, banking off the ice of the mountain. It's very bright.
That glare.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of glare. You had to shield your eyes several times. You've had to use some type, not say petroleum jelly, but something like that. If you've done it on your face to kind of keep your face and your hands from getting bitter, frostbite, and so you protect it the best you can with your winter gear and all that. And the trail begins to end. And you can see the mountain walls, they kind of come in and they start to pinch into a V. And you get to a point where it's not as actually, because of your roll, there was probably an avalanche or maybe someone caved it on purpose here at one point. This is where the kids, probably as far as they come to scare each other. But the rocks have been, actually have fallen, maybe even recently from an avalanche of some sort. And so the rocks that were blocking this little wedge in here to the final spot you need to go have fallen aside, making it easy to traverse, and you quickly are over it. And then it kind of comes out to a plateau, and the mountain walls are very high, and straight ahead, almost buried in the snow, so you had to dig it out a little bit. You can definitely see this is a tomb entrance. There is a door. It's probably about 10 feet tall. It's a rounded arch, and you can see that there's a crack down the middle where you can and there's handles where you would pull it open. There, it's barred on the outside, so there probably doesn't even matter. But I would say that let's say the door is pushed into the tomb, right, and etched into the walls of the tomb, running into the side of the mountains, kind of pushing around the edge of this tomb, where I guess let's say the tomb is kind of worked out, so it's a big rounded dome. So you would be able to go around this thing. But going around between the edge of the dome and the cliff walls next to it would be kind of treacherous and hard to do. Really, this is the entrance right here. And it's got this gold and silver band from the center of the doors etched in, and it goes looks like it goes in a complete circle around the door. And there's a crack in the dome itself that runs from about 2/3 of the way up and down and slightly through that etching. But the band itself that's been etched in gold and silver still holds. It's still, as far as you can tell from this side, you can't see around the dome. It looks like it's still true to its form. So you've traversed the weather and across the rocks. There's nothing. The mountain's not currently coming down on your heads. You're able to lift the bar, if you choose to, and push the doors open into the tomb. But I'll leave that up to you as you guys stand there. What do you do? Excuse me.
I think Joster would walk up and he'll stop probably a good 10 yards before, plant his spear butt down into the stone beneath it, or the snow probably. He'll turn back and say, "Well, this is it. Are you scared?" Man, that's a wrong accent, but
It's fine. Look, it looks behind him at the others He's talking to you, right? It's snow, right? Anyone else just seen snow and a rock?
There's always more when we're
Jackson is. He's just like, officer. To be clear, we are. This is where Chosen has been buried, and we got to cut out her heart. But what if she's like bones? Like, what if there's no heart?
And I'll motion to like the reliquary. Like I probably have hanging around my neck. I imagine it's like the undecayed finger of a chosen, right?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
I like lift it up. It's like the third toe of a long forgotten chosen.
It's gotta be a toe.
I'll hold it up. Completely not completely pristine, but well preserved. I'll
Still
hold it up
painted.
These things, these chosen, they have a way of sticking around.
Oh.
Or else they wouldn't be useful.
So we're gonna cut out her heart and bring it for Shreya, I guess, right? But what about the rest of Astringa? Do we take her too, so we have more reliquary?
And I'll kind of look at Nugget.
Scratches the side of his helmet. Doesn't even actually pull his helmet off to scratch. Oh, that's your call, boss.
Commander never mentioned anything about it. I guess I never thought to ask. Field decision. We'll take it all.
Okay.
In fact, it might save time.
Just take the whole body. No matter what. Just take it
But
off. Just pick it up. Don't even open it up. Take the tomb and take it off. Nugget's chuckling now. He's muttering as we just take the whole thing. We just go home. It's fast. This is easy.
then Joster will turn back around and stare once more at the tomb. But something makes me think it won't be so easy. To take the heart of a lover. You've heard the stories of Orsingra, yes? Died fighting alongside her lover against the forces of evil. The heart of someone who dies in such a way holds great power. And surely won't be so easy to obtain.
Awesome. That's what I wanted to know.
There are few forces stronger in this world than love.
Shields, right? He clangs.
That echoes off and some of the snow drifts down from the reverberation.
See? I made it. Snow.
I'll turn back and I'll say, you felt it too. At the battle back at the camp.
Mm.
The quarrel between the lovers.
Aye.
Or even Shreya once loved that.
That's insane. Jackson's like, it's just insane that was true, but I guess she wasn't always broken either.
Perhaps it isn't too late for her either.
Oh.
Love can
Break.
cure all wounds, they say. Or is it time?
Blacksmith works best for me.
Yes, I get it. You like your iron. But some things,
Nice.
love burns much hotter than any iron. That I assure you. Now, let's get going.
Starts tilting his head and he looks back. I think it burns when the toe pees.
It's the weirdest line I've ever heard in my life.
And Joster will move to go and start lifting up the seal. You said it's just like a wooden plank, right?
I would say it's probably reinforced with iron to make sure the door stays shut. But it's a huge bar, probably across these double doors.
And I don't, so I probably can't lift it alone. I doubt.
I mean, it would probably be easier with 2 people or 3.
Yeah.
7.
And so, if like a couple others start like walking up towards us or walking up to help, it's like as we're lifting it up, I'll just like be absent-mindedly speaking, not to anyone in particular. I wonder why they seal from outside. Usually, you want to keep people out of grave, not keep grave out of. I'll shrug and like continue lifting.
Yeah.
Jackson's like, well, that doesn't make me feel better. And he's like, and then like thunk, throwing it down.
Look, it just laughs. There are a lot of silver, shiny things, magic. It all seems broken. My steel, sharp. My axe, cut. Everything better.
I don't know if we should steal the gold and silver here.
Yes. Let's
Yes, where are we going to spend it? Corner store?
Yeah.
Why do you steal silver when we can steal the heart of a lover? Come on.
Come
We
on.
must move quickly.
All right. The doors take a little bit of pushing to open, and they're made of stone and some old iron hinges. So they definitely, with all the weathering there, it takes a little bit grunting and some pushing to actually get them to move. But once they actually get moving, they from the inside, this is where the hinges would be. They seem pretty well oiled, and they actually swing better once you get their momentum going. And they kind of, as they hit the side walls, you know, the ground just reverbs a little bit, and a little more snow comes down, a few rocks. Just get the feeling that it's a little unstable. Not necessarily unstable, but you are in an echoous cavern high in the mountains. Things happen that are nature. But laid out in front of you is this large dome, and you actually have to step down into the room, so it kind of goes into a depression in the middle with a dome on top. Not quite like an actual sphere in total, you know, like the bottom depression is about a third of the height of the dome in front of you. So you step down, and there are, well, the first thing that catches your attention, there are stalactites and stalagmites that have made their way into this place over the centuries. Now, I always forget which is which, but I'm going to make a guess, and you guys can tell me. I think stalactites are the ones that grow from the ceiling. Am I correct? Yep. Yes.
Yeah. You got it. Hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
Stalactite on the point.
I think I heard you mention it once in one of your streams, Dom, and I was like, I think Dom's going to know, so I'm going to guess.
A stalagmite is mighty. It comes up from the ground and is strong.
There you go.
Might. That's how I remember it. It's stupid, but yeah, I mean,
Nope.
You got to be stupid to be smart.
I use all kinds of devices like that in order to remember because my memory is crap. All right, so above the ceiling where the stalactites are coming down, there are actually many holes in the dome, but they're carved there. Like they're probably all about this big, right? About the size of your head. Nothing that small critters could get through, but they're numerous in the dome to let sunlight and air flow in. Some snow is in here, but it seems rather dry as you step down. Excuse me, sorry, I'm my head cold here. As you step out of the room, it seems pretty dry here. So a lot of sunlight is coming through, but with the stalactites at the ceiling, the way they cast shadows that they hang down, there's a lot of shadows across the ceiling, but it is well lit down to the ground. As you come down, you move your way around some stalagmites that were not supposed to be there. So they're kind of crowded the room. They kind of get in the way. You see there are 7 stone slabs in front of you. 3 to each side in the circle and 1 at the very end in front of you. Behind the slabs, you can see that there is... Nope, never mind. The way I've described it doesn't really make sense anymore. So we'll just stick with that. It's otherwise it's a plain unadorned room. You see, make sure I have, okay. On the 3 stone slabs to either side, a body lays upon each one. These are obviously well-armored warriors. They look at some ancient Zemyati guard. They got some really heavy, at least some medium plate, half plate on them. They got large, almost claymore-like swords resting, from the hilt up here, down their body. They got helmets on, and there's 3 to each side. But the stone slab that's on the far end, the seventh one, is longer and wider still, as it holds what looks like, in gentle repose, the body of a 7-foot tall woman who looks to be sleeping or dead, lying gently in her garb there. You can see she is also well armored. No helmet. Very long white hair is caught up and around her, and 2 braids come down, and then the rest of it's long and hanging. And she has a large sword resting in the same manner herself. And that's about all you can see at the moment without getting closer and looking. And just this eerie, the hair on the back of your neck stands on end. As it's, with the howling wind outside, once you enter in here, it's very quiet, except for the occasional drip, drip, drip from the, from the water that is condensed from, or condensed from the holes where the snow a little bit gets in, runs down the stalactites, and then drips down to form stalagmites. There's just the occasional drip, drip here and there across the room, little echoes, but quite noticeably different quiet compared to the howling outside. What do you guys do?
I grunt. This doesn't look good.
When does it, though?
Like, it's just, he nods and he starts, like, loosening his shoulders. Like,
The Zemyati, back then, served as elite guards for Chosen. Back when, there was plenty to spare. Only the strongest would serve. The most battle-hardened, fearsome, and fearless warriors would give anything, including their lives, in defense of said Chosen. I'll turn back to Jackson. Are you scared now?
I'm hella scared. I mean, they're dead, though, right? They're dead.
For the now, they are. For what stays dead in this world anymore?
But they're an honor guard. They're dead. This officer, I don't appreciate being made to be afraid. I'll wait for you to go first, sir, and show us that there's nothing to be afraid of.
And I'll give him a big smile. And at the last second, I have him by close, and I'll mean to give you something to truly be afraid of.
Wait. It cut out for me a little bit right there.
Oh. I'll grab him by the collar, pull him in close, and I'll be like, do you want me to give you something to truly fear?
Oh, he's like, no, sir. I'm ready. And he draws his sword. He's like, I'm ready. I've been trained for this.
Give him a slight push, and I'll say, okay, that's the last I want to hear of these ghost storms, then. Let's get going.
Your voice echoes boomingly through the cavern, this dome, I feel like. Joster's not a quiet man. I mean, I guess he can be, but he doesn't seem to be right now. The rest of the ghost owls are like, first time of battle, kind of geared up. There's a mixture of excitement and terror, and being terrified all at the same time. So, all right. Nothing moves other than you. Nothing makes a sound other than the water dripping. And you. What do you guys do?
Joster will, if no one else does, he'll walk right on down, alone, down the stairs to the center of this dome. Just to see what's going on.
Nothing moves.
Okay, so I'm in the way I'm envisioning it, I'm in the center of these 6 on the sides, and then in front of me is the...
Yes. Yeah, you can walk right between them.
I want to walk to on the left center, honor guard.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to kind of like look him up and down. How dead does this dude look?
They look like they're slightly mummified.
I'm gonna like gently nudge him in the shoulder with the edge of the butt of my spear.
Okay. It just
not enough to like move him or shift him, just to like as like what you would do to like wake someone up almost.
It just kind of like moves, but it doesn't make it. It doesn't move.
I'll turn back and I'll say, "Looks like coast is clear." Look it, get what we are looking for. I'll motion, like hold my spear out.
Okay. And he gets, he pulls, he's got his shield out, and he just walks up and just proceeds to put his hand on the chest of the female body. He's thinking that's her. He's just gonna basically pick her up.
Oh, that's right.
She's dead, right? She should weigh nothing. Okay.
You're not taking her heart. You're picking her up.
Yep. We updated the mission parameters on the fly. Now we're taking the whole body. It's
All right.
so much
We're
more
out
to
of
use.
religious supplies. This is like a lot of religious supplies, right?
Mm-hmm. I would say there's a little bit more than just a relic. Yeah, you might get a couple bits of religious supplies back, which make a quartermaster happy. I would say as soon as you touch the body of Astringa, you can try to nudge her.
Nope. He grabs.
Well, yeah, okay, grabs to pull to test the weight.
Yep. He's going to pick. He's literally just. Hup.
Well, you find there's a lot of resistance because, I mean, she's huge and she's wearing heavy armor. So even for your bulk, you have to do that double, oh, holy. And then from all sides, you hear ear-piercing shrieks. Just, I can't do it. But like the high-pitched, like your eardrums almost explode. It's the six bodies of the Zamyati soldiers, these revenants, just start screeching as their eyes just blaze white, and they all begin to sit up, grabbing their swords like. Now, this is a controlled situation in the fact that they're not hopping on their feet, stabbing you immediately. You have a moment to react, but it's going to quickly go out of control. So, Nugget is beginning to lift the body. Joster is sitting right next to the middle one. The ghost owls are just outside that circle, and they're all like, and all these six soldiers sit up. Who does what? Oh yeah, they got good.
So I think Joster is like right up in this dude's face when this happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was watching and kind of distracted, and the scream will catch him off guard. He'll stumble backwards for a moment, holding his ears, and he'll suddenly remember, you know, like hesitation is death, as he sees it at this point after what happened at camp, and he'll instantly like buckle down, draw a shield and spear into like battle position, and then lunge forth to try and just get this guy right in the neck before he can even stand up.
Oh yeah, because it's screeching and it's starting to sit up like
Yeah.
this. So his neck is actually kind of open and exposed for the moment, and it's like picking its sword and starting to move its arm, which might get in the way. And well, you're in a controlled situation for a standard effect at this point because of how well you guys have done.
Yeah, and I think I'm trading position for effect by going like for the kill shot, just like straight away.
Okay.
Right?
All right, so you're gonna make it risky great.
Yeah.
All right. I see what you're doing. Are you having the ghost owls? Are you leading them to act with you, or are you just acting on your own?
No, this is quick. This is before he barks any sort of orders. Just gut reaction.
All right. Any devil's bargains or anything, or are you going for it?
Just going for it.
All right. Well, I won't stand in your way. We'll get a roll or two in tonight.
Yep.
Risky, great. No bonus die. Bam. Hey, partial.
Risky, great. Do it, but there are consequences. Boy, I gotta remember how to play this game. So, that is 2 ticks. Better get my sheet out here. Alright, so they have to be. All right, so you drive the spear right into his throat, right up through the brain as it's going. It's still screeching as it's sitting up. So the consequence here is, as you pierce into it, the screech grows to a pitch even louder, and practically bursts your eardrums. But what starts to happen is a stalactite breaks loose somewhere in the room and comes falling to the ground and just crashes. And you guys feel a slight rumble as, with the echoes and the reverberation of these high pitched, like, having a tuning fork or whatever, it's starting to cause things to break apart and fall. Now you can resist that, and there's nothing happen. Otherwise, a clock may begin where, the house comes tumbling down eventually. Up to you if you want to resist that or not. But that's a more environmental effect at this point, as opposed to you taking damage directly.
Hey, man, they're in here too, so let it ride.
Ha! All right. Well, that was risky. Okay. And I thought I'd try something where I wouldn't post the clocks publicly. I let you guys. I was gonna try something with this mission. I meant to ask you guys, but I usually put all the clocks so you can see everything. But I thought for a little bit more suspense, so you're not actually seeing it out of game, a little more suspense for you, I thought I'd keep the clocks hidden from the audience and from you, just to kind of see if it made it a little more suspenseful for you. So we'll try it for this mission and see what we think. All right.
Sounds good.
Otherwise, I like being open with all the information in this game. So you stab up, you spear, and as it starts to shriek, it reverbs. You're just kind of whoa, and you keep pushing, and then the lights go out, and the revenant drops back to the ground. The rest are now standing up, and yeah, you felled one bad boy. What do you guys do? Still in a controlled position, kind of.
What is Zinnia doing? Is she doing something too, or is she still not moving?
Well, one of you would lead group, unless the officer does it. One of you, as your rookie characters, would lead group actions for the rookies.
Yeah.
Unless you want to take your rookies specifically to do individual tasks.
Okay, I meant the body that Nugget tried to pick up.
I'm sorry, Singra.
Yeah, I mean yeah.
As you pick her up, she hasn't moved. She looks like she's slightly mummified as well, but hasn't hardly aged at all. You notice as you do pick her up, I'll give you this, like her side is wet. As you pick up and you sling on your shoulder, and you bring your hand back, and there's fresh blood on your hands. Yeah, that's right. Get messed up.
He's running for the exit.
Okay. Joster will shout out as he rips his spear. He'll turn 180 and he'll shout out towards the rookie. He'll shout out two columns, cover his retreat.
All right, so we want to do the order command first, or Nugget running. Nugget, you want to see what you want? you want to see what happens with you?
Let's see. Does this count as a enemy that outnumbers or outguns me to try to get out of here?
They are actually about on the same level as you.
Yeah, 6 on 6.
So I would say not.
Okay. That just makes it 3 versus 4 dice on maneuver. So, yeah, he's going to, chuck her over his shoulder and make for the light.
All right. So what are you doing? What kind of roll are you doing here?
He's going to maneuver. Straight up. That's his bag, baby.
So going through... Boy, it's still controlled. I do think it should be some risk to it, because you are heavy, you're way down, and you still could get swiped, so...
I mean, if you want to put it risky, I'll definitely push it on down to death spread for you.
Well, that's up to you. I was thinking it was going to be risky standard. Like, you're getting what you... Well, how about this? It's controlled and limited to start, which means you're going to get going. You got good control because you got the jump on him, but you're not going to get all the way to the door right away because she's heavy, and you have to make your way past the stalagmites, right? So I'm gonna start you in controlled limited, and you can work it from there.
All right. So I'll make it controlled though. Let me look at controlled. I may like controlled to stay that way because I'd like to succeed in occasional things. Because this isn't my character anymore.
Nah, don't worry about it. User will come back and be like, "What happened?"
And he's killing everybody else's specialists.
Soundwaves goes,
stick
kills
with
all
control.
the specialists he touches, right?
I'll stick with controlled.
So controlled limited.
Let me see.
I mean, you can make it
Okay.
risky standard if you were, but I'm not gonna tell you. You tell me, and I don't know if anybody wants to assist, or you want to push, or if you want devil's bargains.
I will push with him. What's that? 2 stress?
2 stress.
Stress. I will push just to give me. Does it want better effect? What do I want here? He said it was this risky limited.
It is controlled limited.
Controlled limit. So I'm making it risky. No, I'm keeping it controlled.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to make it controlled standard.
Wait. Oh, you're gonna take the stress
Push.
to do position, not extra dice. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Excellent.
I just want this one to succeed more than normal.
All right. I understand.
More than be flashy. He's just trying to be simple man.
No, that's probably good. That's a good play.
All right, let me make sure he doesn't have any other specials on his special because I haven't played him since he was created.
It's true. You were the first to play him, but user definitely took him over. Yeah, he definitely did, which is great.
Ignore penalties for damage. I've got a ton of armor. Okay, so nothing really affects the roll. Okay, so no bonus die.
6. All right, as the columns and Joster's giving the order, we'll see how well the rookies do in a second here. But as they are forming 2 columns, fighting positions to get, so like this, boom, and you can run right between them, right for the door. You're up the steps, and you get to the entrance, right? And as you're running through the doors, it's like you hit an invisible wall. Like not you, but she does,
Her.
and she's
Like
pulled right out of your hands and thumps on the ground inside the dome as you go like tumbling kind of out into the snow. So you get to the entrance and you do everything right. Nothing happens that you did wrong, but it's like she hit a wall even though it's wide open door.
Just as he realizes this, he'll turn around and yell back into it. Cursed magic nonsense! She's stuck inside! And then the next person goes.
All right, I think it looks like there is a officer giving an order.
Yeah, is that a marshal?
It might be a marshal. Let me see.
Yeah, marshal a squad or larger group to action. Command attention amidst chaos. Coordinate fire on a target. I could see this either being like a maneuver or marshal.
Well, you could roll a marshal, and then the rest,
Everyone else.
Yeah, someone could roll for the rookies, which could be Soundwaves in this case, and they could do the maneuver or whatever if you felt like you wanted to do that way.
Yeah.
You guys
And
decide.
so when she gets sucked back inside, it's to like the very center of the room, back to where she was before.
No, right at the edge, right at the doorway, just inside. Good 30 feet from where you guys are. And the revenants are screeching and just like howling in anger as they're just like crazy and mad. Not mad as in angry. Well, maybe.
Just that level of noise.
Yeah, it's just like, but yeah, so
Bone rattling, screaming.
I would say you could throw a marshal, or you could do the same maneuver alongside them. You could do maneuver with them if you want them to get in the position. That's up to you there, officer.
I think Joster is not like falling into formation yet.
Okay, so he's telling them to do it.
Yeah.
Soundwaves, do you want to roll? What is it?
Yeah.
When you roll for the
Yeah.
rookies, I think
What are we doing?
you roll a die. How's it go?
Well, we need the situation, the effect and position, right?
Yes, I'm going to say it's still controlled standard. They're not up
Controlled
yet.
standard?
You can get into a defensive formation, so you have a better chance of fighting.
Yeah.
And basically help block the way. And yeah, that you'll get what you want by doing so. So right now
And
you're
so,
controlled
like,
standard.
If they're like over at the door, the body is, they're forming kind of like a wedge outwards.
So
right?
so the revenants can't burst past you easily and go claim the body back. Correct.
Exactly.
That's what you're trying to do. So it keeps
Joster will be caught outside of that.
Okay. All right, so I need a marshal from you and a maneuver for the rookies, and this is leading a group action, so, right?
Yep. Controlled and standard, right?
Yes, sir. Devil's Bargains.
If you, sure, I'll listen to what you have.
Devil's Bargain. One is I put a couple more. Let's see, it's controlled. I put another tick on the potential avalanche clock.
Okay.
And that's all I got at the moment. Yeah, that's all I got. There's not
Another tick on the avalanche clock, and that would get me an extra more effect.
It would get you an extra die.
Extra die. Nah, don't need an extra die. I'll just roll it straight.
Alrighty. I forget if you also get effect. No, I don't think so. I think it's like pushing. Or it's instead of pushing. 5.
I got a partial.
All right.
And then is it one cumulative roll, or I'm technically playing the smile character?
Yeah, but if you're doing a group action and leading the rookies, someone rolls for the rookies.
Okay, just one roll cumulative.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, so what am I rolling for them? Maneuver? All right, is it just using my guys or my...
I think Prowling Thomas and Jackson both have good maneuver.
Okay.
They're not going to have past 2 anyway, right? Most likely.
All right, so what was it? Controlled standard?
Yep.
No bonus die.
Well, 1. 1 stress for the officer.
Noted.
They don't do it as fast as you would like. But
Oh, wait. Whenever you lead a group action, improve scale up or down 1 level. So we would improve the scale on that. If you lead a group action in combat, you make... Oh, that doesn't matter. Sorry.
Yeah, we have changed the effect.
So improving scale, is that like a level 2, level 3 scale?
you guys are on the same. You guys are scale 2 as a group as a whole, and so are these Zemyati warriors. So,
we would be scale 3 then, right?
yes, it's almost like you have twice as many people, and you really the way they wedge out and they spread out.
Yeah.
The Zemyati are now up on their feet. They've all pulled their swords, and they want to go for Ostringa, but they are just like between the way they position themselves between the stalagmites, like there's no way through except for through the guys.
Yep.
All right, but this was controlled, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they come and they attack, which means 1 level of harm goes into Joster the Toe, and which is stabbed or slashed. And 1 level of harm happens into the group of rookies, which means either 1 rookie dies or one of the rookies being played takes a level 1 harm. You decide.
Probably Thomas will take it.
Prowling Thomas will take level 1 harm.
Yep.
Now, does anybody go into... You can resist or use armor in order to bump them down. But just remember that characters have less effect with level 1 harm unless you have...
Oh, yeah. I have armor.
So you're going to... Bounces off your armor.
Yep. He'll spend his shield. Like, he will be the one up in the front of the formation, the one that was the least obscured by all the stuff, so it got the closest. And he's like, everyone good? Everyone? And he looks up, and there's that sword coming down. And he's like, ah! And it just cracks through his shield. Just crack.
All right.
He's a rookie. He didn't have a fine shield or anything like that. He just a little crappy shield.
Zemyai jump up, and one just kind of casually backhands at Joster to knock him back as they need to kind of push him out of the way. It's the one that's, when you were looking and you said the left center, it would be the back left, as it has to push past you, and it just kind of like side swipes you, trying to get by you, and you're like caught off guard just a little bit as you take it on the armor and are pushed aside. But you are now pushed back against the dais of the slab that the Chosen was on, and now they are up, and they are into your rookies, and they are fighting. You are behind the Zemyati. The rookies are clashing like this, and Nugget is outside the door, and the body of Ostringa is sitting right there. And I think we have time for maybe one more move for tonight, as we are doing a short night. And if you're watching, you're like, why is it short? Because my head feels like it might just explode at some point. So, and we only have 2 of our people. Before it gets real heated, I'd like to see if we can get our crew. Of course, these guys, maybe we don't need them because look, we got these 2 guys right here. They're just doing it all. But we're gonna go on just a little shorter time tonight, which I'm having a blast. But I want to see, is there anything, Nugget, you want to do? Anything, Joster? Who wants to do the last thing of the night?
Nugget would start to run back down and notice that he's too far away to do anything, pull out his flare gun and try to shoot one of the monsters with a flare gun. Because he has black shot he can spin too.
Whoa. Slow down. So you run back inside, past
he
the
runs down the steps and realizes he's too far away to join right now.
Okay.
So he just goes, and he just pours his black shot into the flare gun barrel. Just,
oh my gosh. I feel like you cheated this in order to make this. No, you know what? He does. Heavies don't carry guns, really, do they?
Nope. You have to pick a pistol. But so, I have a flare gun for whatever.
Well, remember so your black shot has 3 uses. So you're gonna fire one, and he is going to shoot into.
Yes.
All right.
He's gonna shoot at one of the guys, just whatever random one. I guess the one that hit the rookies first. That makes the most sense.
I feel like it's risky because you have to shoot through your allies who are in front of you, and it's limited because of all the stalagmites and everything to get to it. It would be hard to hit them at that moment. So, like, you're loading, you're doing it real fast. You're like, I got it. So, but the potency would bring that limited kind of back up to a standard. I would still roll with a limited, and I'll add that extra tick on. But you're looking at 2 ticks of damage. Going risky, limited right now. Do you want to do anything different with this roll?
I will push it down to a desperate. Get another die because his shoot is too low for me.
Desperate.
To be comfortable.
Wait, so you're making it desperate standard?
Desperate standard.
Well, that'll give you XP. It doesn't give you an extra die.
No, let's see here. Yeah, you're right.
You could get.
I don't want to push myself again.
You can push yourself for 2 stress for that extra, or you can have a devil's bargain.
What you got?
All I have is the stupid avalanche thing, Mike, because I'm not creative tonight. Or I have something creepy happen.
Let's stick with the fun, the currently more fun one that we'll understand next time.
What's that?
The clock.
Okay.
Right now we understand the clock.
All right.
By next session, we may have forgotten if we did some sort of spooky ooky thing, and we had forgotten what it was.
So as your gun goes off, when it goes off in a second, it is very loud, right? And just more stalactites chisel down, and you see some stuff falling even outside, like there's big pieces of snow, and it's just like a low rumble in the mountains as all this disturbance seems to be kind of making things fall. You might be possibly dangerous in a few minutes here. So, you are desperate standard shooting at these revenants, right? You will have XP from this. Don't forget to mark that somewhere.
Well,
may as well do it sooner than later so that you'd but yeah, bonus die from the devil's bargain.
Nope. I'm on 6s. Oh, close.
Ooh, delala. You step past over the body of the chosen, who's just crumpled there. You know, her sword was in her hand, so when you picked her up, her sword rattled down. It's back by where Joster is standing, right? Real nice, like claymore-like sword. Maybe a bastard sword. And you jump over, you get halfway down the steps, and wow. So it's standard effects, that's like 2 ticks, but then the black shot as potency, right? So it's like doing 3 ticks. And you just nail one of these revenants in the face, and head just explodes. The one that hit your rookie, right? Comes down and just goes up for another swing, and the head just explodes, and the body crumples down. And then there were 4.
He just flicks it, pops the shot, boom.
Nice nugget. And did you mark a use of your black shot? All right.
Yes, it did.
And then
the unfill method. So.
And then you can resist this if you want. But this is our little cliffhanger kind of ish right now. You're standing there, you're like, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up again. And you just hear like this chuckling, this feminine voice that just chuckles. It's like, it's been a long time since some flies have entered my web. And it's at this point, 2 things happen. 1, Nugget is grabbed and pulled up into the darkness. And 2, he takes level 3 harm.
Oh. Well.
Wait a minute. It was desperate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. Desperate.
Severe harm, serious complication, or you lose the opportunity.
Okay, I'm sorry. He takes
No, it was a 5. So severe harm or serious complications.
So so it wasn't total failure, but so 3. I'm gonna say he takes level 4 harm, which is fatal.
Wow.
Yep.
That's terrible.
So these hands come. Well, you can do stuff to knock it down. These hands come down, grab onto his shoulders, and they pull him up into darkness, into the shadows of the stalactites above.
He still goes up. I won't resist that fact that he just kind of vanishes off into the ceiling for a moment for the cliffhangery part.
He's very heavy.
Going to spill. But he's going to spin. Yeah, he's very heavy, and he's wearing fitted heavy plate. So he has 2 armor for that plate.
Okay.
So he's bump it down to 2 to level 2 harm instead.
All right.
Because his penalties from harm are 1 less severe.
So what happens? And I'm not gonna give too much detail. No one else sees this. Actually, Joster, what you see is Nugget. He fires, and you're like, "That was a great shot." And then suddenly, from above, there's this white-haired, gigantic woman that just, like, she comes down and lands softly behind him, and stands up, grabbing him by his shoulders, and jumps up into the shadows, like Spider-Man, just springs right up, and he's like, "Ah!" And Nugget, as she says the spider line, as you pulled up there and you're fighting, your armor's being ripped and torn, you just feel these chiseled incisors sink right into your neck as you just feel your blood leaving your body in thick, slurping gulps. And you basically drained of blood on a level 2 harm. And that, my friends, is where we're going to close the curtain on tonight's session. Nugget in danger. The squad otherwise doing pretty good. Oh yeah, so it's good to note that it's obviously your target. She can't leave. Interesting things are happening. So, at least I thought so. It's a little bit of a different mission, but it's working. So anyways, my name is Lucas. Thank you for joining us for our small, short session tonight. I hope my players had a good time. I hope you in the audience had a good time watching. We'll be back in 2 weeks to see the conclusion of this mission, and hopefully we'll have our other 2 guys here, and we'll have User, who usually plays Nugget, come in and be like, "Wait, what?" as well, it just happens. It's not Dan's fault. It's Roll20 as always, which is why he doesn't use Roll20. I understand. Anyways, my name is Lucas. We'll be back.
I don't need the help, actually.
We'll be back. Our Sunday game is on hiatus for the moment as that one is done and a new game is in the works, but Dom can tell you about that. Next week, Tuesday, we're going to come back for Call of Cthulhu, This is the Future, a 2-run session as we continue our Gaming Gallimaufry on Tuesdays, where we play a series of different games, short-run games, up until about April, just to try out some new GMs, some new players, and some new games. So if you're interested in that, in being a part of it or watching or going, "Hey, I want you guys to play this. I want to run that," you should just really join my Discord, which I put in the audience, in the chat there, and just check things out. Also, tips and financial support always helps. Follows, like, subscribes also do as well. I'll pass it over to Dom and then to Dam, and then we'll be out of here. So, Dom?
Hey, what is up, my people? My name is Dom. I'm one of the channel hobos around here. I run a Sunday game that Lucas just mentioned before. We actually just ended our 16-episode campaign, The Song of the Bone Kings. It was a resounding success. It's still up if you want to go back and catch those last few episodes. It was a lot of fun. We'll be back probably later on in February. We're still coming up with exactly what it is we want to do, but I guarantee whatever it is, it's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely check us out on those Sunday time slots, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time currently. Otherwise, I run maybe bi-weekly to monthly one-shots. You can access those on my personal one-shot server, Dom's Dungeon Tavern. I'll link that in the Twitch. That's everything I've got to say. It's a ton of fun playing with you guys. This Band of Blades campaign has been a staple of my last, well, it's been like a year and a half now.
I know.
But I seriously look forward to it every single time. These Thursday nights are some of my most exciting sessions. It's a new system to me, and it really is a lot of fun. I'll pass it on over to Ghost.
Come on, pick us to somebody else. No, I'm just kidding. Soundways Ghost. I play here when I'm able to, and I GM here when I'm capable of. As you can see, I've got some things in the works back here. That's the only reason I ever bring helmets out is a little bit of Fallout stuff. I've got most of the mechanical parts done, so now I'm beeping up the story element because I had an overall idea as I build the world, but then I realized, well, what do the players want to do? So I don't know what they want to do yet. So I've got to seed out little, literally as my game call, my world building tool calls it, play, GM seeds and see what grows. So now I'm doing that. I'm at that point where I don't have to quite focus on mechanicals because just like any D&D type of setting, you've got character stuff, you got the NPC stuff, and everybody has their own things, crafting, gathering and stuff like that. Those are all subsystems to the game that I had to get a handle on. So now I'm working on literally, if they go here, what could be there for them to do? Because I'm putting locations in at random because it's based on the Atlanta area that I live in, the metro area. So things like the 285 loop that I live right off of in real life is going to be very important to the game. Nice. Overarching, but it won't be, it's an option to the players. The players could just ignore it and just treat it like it was another fast travel spot, or they could make it a big deal.
It's gonna be a racing spot, Dan. We're gonna be racing.
Well, it is. It is.
I know.
If you read the lore, it already is a racing spot.
I know.
It's whether or not the players want to go through the mess they have to do to join it.
I do.
But that's why I'm saying I'm putting seeds out there, because that's one of my favorite parts about that universe as the video games was you go to this area and you're just there to pick up, a playbook from an old movie or something, and you spend 42 hours in this location trying to find every little nook and cranny because something is cool about it, and you can't describe it technically until after you've left why you enjoyed that area. So I'm trying to make sure everything has enough life in it for it to breathe on its own without me having to fluff it preemptively. Like, you go to a location and there's a secondary system that I'm going to wait till I get a cast for to see if they're interested in, because not everybody wants to build. Some people just want to play,
sure,
bang bang and capture loot. So we'll see how that goes. It's already in place inside the book, but I haven't brought it into the game engine that I'm running on over on Foundry, simply because that's just more work. And if nobody's interested, I did that with Pendragon back in the day, and I burnt myself out doing it. So if nobody's interested, I'm not going to put all the work in it.
Nope, just wait a bit, right?
Yep.
All right.
Also, I'm going to be on a couple of the Tuesday games that Lucas was mentioning, and I'm also going to be running The King is Dead, which is powered by the apocalypse-ish.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the same universe of thought of not dice-driven. It's got cards, and it's got an overall point system, but it's mostly about the interaction of the players and the shared experience that you create during that session. So it's meant to only be one session. So it may run long, but it's not meant to go past one session because you can close it at any time. I think that's it for me. Yeah, Happy New Year's to those I haven't seen since well before Christmas.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
And yeah, I had a blast as usual. Thanks for letting me play, Lucas. Thanks for playing, Don. And we'll see you next time.
All right. We're out of here. Happy New Year 2022. We'll be back for more stuff. Next week, Tuesday, Gaming Gallimard Free, Call of Cthulhu, the role-playing game. And next week, Thursday, as we go back and forth each other week, is Dungeons & Dragons, the Yawning Portal Campaign, Chapter 2. So, join us then. Until then, have a good night. God bless and good gaming. We will see you next time. Peace. We are out of here.